Good evening, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's Monday night and the season is well and truly over. The celebrations have been had. It's just me and you. What do you want to talk about? Literally got no script tonight, literally got no agenda. We can talk about whatever we want. The title of this show is to run through the players and see which ones we want to keep for next season. So we can do that, or we can talk about whatever you want to do. We're here for the next 30 minutes, me and you. Let's talk Leicester City. Let's relax. Let's enjoy a bit of chat and a bit of banter. So for the next 30 minutes, it's me and you.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Fox's Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. We're here all through the summer to talk lots of Leicester City stuff. So when there is transfer news, comings in, goings out, we will talk about it. We want your views, your comments, as ever, whatever there is. I've renewed my season tickets this weekend. Gladly doing it. Premier League, thank God we're not in the Championship anymore. I did pay the extra for plastic cards. Thank you. It goes to charity. I've never been forced to give money to charity, but there we go. It was my choice, I guess, so maybe I wasn't forced. Have you renewed your season tickets? Would you love a season ticket? Did you pay the 25 quid to charity, because the club told you to, for your plastic card? I'm going to keep the plastic card. It's useful. We all know why we want a plastic card. I'm the same as you. Sometimes I can't go, so I give it to my brother or my dad or a friend or whatever. And I paid for the ticket, so that's what I do. But I don't mind admitting that. Anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about which players you want to keep. We're going to run through every single player tonight quickly, and you're going to tell me if you want to keep them or if you want to let them go. But as ever, this is your show. So whatever you guys want to talk about, that is the name of the show. Canal is bored of me, probably. Bored that there's no football. I tell you what, did you watch any of the playoffs yesterday? One, thank God we're not in the playoffs. I just could not have been, well, I mean, unless a playoff final, and if you've seen the playoff final win, then you love it, but I just didn't want to do it. But they were boring yesterday. Good evening, Richie. Hope you're well. Good evening, Craig. Alex, I'm good. How do? He says, how do? All right, you sound like you're from up north. Terry, good evening. Daka is a keeper. What, like this? Listen, most keepers, when they see a Daka shot, they can probably, do you remember Paul Cooper, who used to be in goal for Leicester? This is for you older ones. Paul Cooper famously was Ipswich keeper, but he did come to Leicester. There was times where when a shot was that bad, he used to either dive like this. He would dive in midair like that and do it like, woo. Or he would just like watch it go by. Paul Cooper, I can't remember when he played for us. His big time was at Ipswich, but he would have done that to most of Daka's shots last season. Really hope Fatwa signs a full-time contract. Listen, Sean, I thought Fatwa had to sign. I believe if we got promoted, he has to sign for 14.5 million. He was really good in the Championship. I actually think he can make it in the Premier League. We'll come on to that. Tuscan Fox in the house, says Robert, out there in the States. Proud and glad to be back in the Premier League. Who's staying? Yeah, I hope we are. GPM Moore, good evening. Richard, good evening. Hope you're well. Canal says the playoff matches were woeful yesterday. Yes, they were indeed. Bubba is also out in the States. Look, Bubba's out in the States and Tuscan Fox. Robert, you're both out in there. Do you live near each other? I mean, America, it's not that big. Surely you know each other, don't you? Two Americans. Bubba, anyway, says, good evening. Nothing like watching the struggle that is the playoffs, knowing that we're above that all. Who do you think is going to go through, Bubba? It looks like it could be Leeds and Southampton to the playoff final. Won't be easy in there. Andy, good evening, says defo need at least 3 centre backs. Stirring the pot early there, Andy. I'm with you on. Listen, if I'm honest, Andy, I'm going to go with what you're saying. See if you agree with Andy. See if you agree with me. Wout Faes, I think is Premier League quality. Just about. I'm to be convinced because the one season we've seen him in the Premier League was a bit iffy at times. Vestergaard, I think he might. If the money was right, he might have just about earned a 1-year contract. But the money would have to be right. 30, 40 grand a year. He's not a 67. For me, not Premier League. And Cody, well, he didn't play much in the Championship, so maybe you're right, Andy. Craig says, I think a new striker is a must. Will Vardy sign Craig? Will Daka go? It never works, but it's worth a try. Richie, I don't mind. I've been honest about Daka since like 18 months. I'm not changing my tune on Daka. I honestly get rid of Pratt. Well, Pratt's on a free, Richie. He's going to go. I think Dennis Pratt wants to go. We've bought him, and nobody seems to ever want to play him. TJ Chapman, good evening. TJ, and going back to that Richie one, Dennis Pratt. I always liked Dennis. Dennis Pratt's going to be one of those players for me who I think he got away from us because I think he was perhaps a real quality player that we've had, and I don't know, not got the best out of him. Are there any other players? Well, we've got plenty of time tonight. Are there any other players who you've seen at Leicester City you go, they were better than we got out of them for whatever reason? Maybe Vincent Iborra was another one. Dennis Pratt, I don't know. They're clearly good players. Somebody's going to come in and say Sumari. Maybe Sumari will come back next season and be a better player. It's going to be interesting in there. Get your views in, get your comments in. Joe says we need a striker in there. Bubba's saying rooting for Norwich in the playoffs. Mick says we definitely need a quality striker. Nacho, I think that is. Mick, come on, Mick. Bit of typing. Get your sausage fingers going better than that. And Daka have to go. I'm with you on that. Look, while we're going through players, we're going to do this. Let's do this in a bit of order. Quickly, we'll go through a few. Hermansen, he's good enough, isn't he? You all agree Hermansen's a keeper. No joking, punted. James Justin, he's good enough, isn't he? James Justin's good enough for the Premier League. He was on the outskirts of the England side. Wout Faes, Belgium international. He's good enough, isn't he? Out of those three, they're all going to stay, aren't they? I mean, I don't think there's two. If you think there's debate there to be had, put it in the comments. But if you think they're all keepers, that's fine. Callum Doyle, I don't think he's going to. Well, he's on loan, isn't he? He's on loan, and he's going to go back to Man City. They said at the start of the season he wasn't for sale, so I don't think he'll be there in there. Steve Chapman, talking about players. We're going to dance all over the place tonight because there's no rhyme or reason to this. But Steve Chapman, you're right. Kramaric, yeah. He was another one, wasn't there? There was Kramaric. There was the other one. Oh, who I used to really rant on about liking to play. The Polish lad. Did really well at like Euro 26. Oh, my God. I'm going to say Kaputski. It's not Kaputski. Oh, my God. My brain has gone to jelly. Somebody help me out. Who am I thinking of? He was Polish, under 21s. Not Kaputski. That sounds bad. Anyway, Kramaric, yes, went off and did all right, didn't he? Luke saying by Sami Mod 6, look good for Blackburn. 20 million could be good for us. Get that in there. Boohoo Records. The coach at Atalanta has really improved. Lookman. I thought Lookman was all right. Well, you could argue out there that because we let Lookman go, that's why we got relegated in the end, because we didn't invest enough for it. Soren, out there in Sweden. Hope you're well, Soren. Not me in a while. Hopefully you're doing well. It must be nice to walk around Sweden, Soren, and go, yep, I support that Premier League side, Leicester City. You remember them? They won the Premier League. Rather than going, yep, I'm trying to find a stodgy stream in some pub to watch Leicester away at Rotherham. Rother who? Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Anyway, hope you're well, Soren, out there. Jamie says, yeah, I'm with you 100%. When I've seen him play against Leicester, I was like, I like that O'Hare. He looks good. Reminds me of maybe, I don't mean this offensively, it reminds me of a younger B-grade Maddison, who reminds me of a younger B-grade Grealish. I do Robbie Savage as well. I like, if they're on your side, I'd love to have Callum O'Hare on our side. So do you agree with him there? Ross says, personally, I'd get that O'Hare from Binley Mega Chippy in there. He's talking about Coventry. Yeah, I agree, Ross. Get him in there. He's not Kaputska. It wasn't Kaputska, was it? The name I'm trying to think of, the Polish name. I don't know what that is. Bartos. People are saying, did I say Kaputska? I don't know. Anyway, he was decent and we got away with it, didn't he? Keith, you're talking about the Pope. No, I'm not, Keith. I'm not. Listen, just for a minute, I'm going to add in Matt from MDA Promotions. He's clicked on. He's out and about. We're going to have a quick chat with him. Matt,
hello.
So I shan't keep you too long.
Yeah.
Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Matt, just I'm going to keep you on for like 1 or 2 minutes because of the signal. But before we get too far, before we lose you, we've got your dartsing coming on this weekend, and we've got 2 tickets still to give away tonight. Another 2 tickets. I'm just going to put it on there and let everybody know it's Armageddon. It's this Friday night, isn't it, Matt? Tell us a little bit about it.
So the biggest event outside the PDC. There's going to be 1,700 people there so far. We want to get to 2,000. We probably won't reach that this year, but some of the biggest names in darts going head to head. Michael Van Gogh versus Michael Smith. Nathan Aspinall versus Darryl Gurney. Then we've got local players taking on, such as Ricky Evans, Martin Adams, Wayne Mardle, Dieter Hedman. So yeah, it's one of the biggest events. Well, it is the biggest event outside the PDC. It's the biggest darts exhibition in England.
And I'm just putting it on screen now so everybody can see it. It is this Friday, so there is just a few tickets left. I'm just going to put in the comments now a link. So anybody who wants to click on it and wants to get some, we can do that for you. You can buy some tickets. But Matt, before you go, we're going to give 2 tickets away in tonight's show.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do, will you do me a favour, Matt? Will you set up a question now?
Yeah. You want me to say it, dear, and I'll text you the answer.
WhatsApp me the answer live during this, and then I'll give it out at the end. So have you got a question you can give us, darts related?
Yeah, no problem. What is Michael Smith's nickname?
Okay, Michael Smith. Right, let's have a look at these. Michael Smith, which one's he on there for those of us who don't know?
He's to the left, as you're looking at it, of Michael Van Gogh, the guy in between the green shirt and the Hawaiian shirt. That's Michael Smith.
You mean the guy with the big beard on the left?
The big beard, yeah. There's two big beards there. The one with the big beard on the left. Yeah, that's Michael Smith. I was about to give him his nickname, man.
Oh yeah. So go on then. One more time. What's Michael Smith's nickname?
Nickname in darts, yeah.
All right. Well,
I have to say though, I'm in Derby. That's where I am. I'm in Derby. I'm in enemy territory, and I'm actually with the guy that does the Birchinall role at Leicester, Matt McGibbon, who does the on pitch. The
Derby.
On pitch, yeah, the Derby County. Yeah.
Get him. So come on, get him on. Get him on.
You want me to get him on? Yeah, okay. I'll wait there. I'll get him on. Yeah, okay, no problem.
So Matt, you're at the Derbian, as they call it out there, I assume. Yeah. What are you watching?
We're watching Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I fancy that. I quite like those.
Yeah, it's a sort of like a lads' day out. There's 3 of us. There's Chris, who you met at the football at the Southampton game, and then we've got Matt, who's I'll get him on now. He's a massive Derby County fan. Are you sure you want this?
Yes.
Okay.
See if he'll come on. So don't forget, if you want to win, while Matt's just humping around, if you want to win 2 tickets, we're going to give them away at the end.
You're being a massive Derby County man, so you've got to say hello.
Are you Derby fan, mate?
I am, buddy. Yeah. How you doing? You all right? I'm Coops, eh? Yeah.
Look at that. Congratulations on getting promoted. I think you guys actually deserve that. So was it a great season?
Attritional football, I'd call it, but we got there in the end. Means to an end. You have to shove it right.
Look into the camera there. Look into the camera.
Are you, mate? Before we let you go, are you going to do an Ipswich and do a double-double?
I would like that a lot, but small steps. I think with us still at the minute.
One thing though, we both want Leeds to lose.
Everybody wants Leeds to lose.
We want Leeds to be in the Championship next season. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Leeds are falling apart again.
Again.
Listen, Matt.
Yeah.
Go on. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for that.
This is Matt as well. So
you need to play for the Leeds. Lonnie Gordon, it's happening all over again. I always stick it on all my Leeds mates' timelines when they start and falter. They love it.
You do the stadium announcements, do you?
I do, yes.
Or at Derby County at Pride Park.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Matt, we'll have to set this up another time so we can get you guys on properly together.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
What's your shirt you've got on? What's the emblem?
It's Leicester City, mate.
It is Leicester City, is it?
Yeah, the old badge.
It's the old one, is it? Yeah.
92,
the old
93, that was.
Because you've got Leicestershire Cricket Club all in here behind you.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We have. Yeah, let's see a kick up.
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'm going to go.
All right,
off and
Matt.
We're going to watch this.
So
Thanks for having me on, though. Cheers, bud.
That question again, Michael Smith. What's his nickname? We'll give 2 tickets away at the end. Thanks, Matt.
I'll send it now, mate. Bye-bye.
You're a star.
Bye.
Cheers for that. Well, there you go. Just anybody can click in anytime. We always encourage people to click on. That was Matt. And don't forget, just one final plug. The darts. It's in Leicester if you fancy it. There's a few tickets left. I've put it in the chat. I'll put it one more time in the chat in there. And I've literally got 2 tickets to give away to anybody watching this stream. We'll pick them live at the end. I'll just scroll through and pick somebody who's got Michael Smith's nickname right. Matt, when he WhatsApps me here in a bit, I'll just check. Oh, he has done it. I've got it. So I know what it is. So I best not say it either. Keith says, is it Smithy? You'd think it would be. I'll give you a clue. It's not. Anyway, let's get back. Let the darts is there. Enter the darts if you want to, and get things in there. And let us know what you think. Let's get back to football. So Sean says here, I feel like Tom Cannon was good form from what I saw, but shame he didn't get much of a chance. Sean, there's chat that Cannon might go out on loan. I mean, he's a young lad, isn't he? He's about 21. I find it strange at the moment to be spending 8 or 9, 10 million when we're sort of in financial, well, we are in financial debates. Why have we spent 8, 9, 10 million on a young striker if we're going to loan him out? But yet he didn't really make much of the Championship, wasn't given enough of a chance maybe. So do you agree with Sean there? Do you like what you see from Cannon, or do you think it's a bit, got to let him go? I've got lots of right answers. That's what I'm going to say. I've made it difficult for myself today because I've put a quiz question out. I can't put the right answer on screen, so I'm having to read some of the things. I'll go for an easy one. Richie just says I hate Derby County. Richie, we all hate Derby County. It's a debate for another show. In fact, I'm going to make a note of this. Next Monday, we'll perhaps debate which club do you hate the most and why. Is it Derby? Is it Forest? Is it the Cov? Is it another club for some weird apparent reason? Save it. Don't comment. No comments tonight. Let's have it next Monday. Richie hates Derby County. He started next Monday's show already. Next Monday, which team do you hate and why? Let's have a real love in on that. Let's find out. Is it Spurs? Do you hate them? No answers tonight. No, thank you. Thank you for that. Alex says, keep Cannon. Curtis says, keep Cannon. Chris Townsend, hope you well, says, Cannon is better than Daka. My mum's better than Daka, Chris, and she's 76 and, she's got arthritis. But I honestly, Daka hasn't scored for 5.5 games solid. I think last time I checked, and it's probably more. I think if you gave me 5.5 games for Leicester City in that team, I think I would score. And I'm a 53-year-old rubbish football player. I genuinely think I would. Anyway, maybe I wouldn't. I mean, I'd only get up the pitch once or twice before having an asthma attack. Scott says the positives are we're having a great head of recruitment, but do you think we'll sign young players to develop as Martin Glover has previous in that? I don't know, Scott. Listen, I think the Cannon one's interesting. I assume we signed Cannon to play them. I assume we signed Cody to play him. Neither really played that much. It's one of the questions, in all fairness, about what goes on with Leicester City, some of the signings in there. Should we have a little look back through some of the players that we got to? Where did we get to? Well, we got to Doyle, and now Winks, he's a keeper. We all love Winks. Vardy. What are you going to do with Jamie Vardy? I think most fans are going to say sign him, and I would say sign Jamie Vardy for sure. But the contract's got to be right for him and for us, hasn't it? The money's got to be right. So you'd keep Vardy, would you? Or is it time to say thank you very much, Jamie? Have had a great time. Go and play at Wrexham, go and play at Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know. I'd keep him. What about you? Let us know in there. Mavadidi, we've signed him. He's a keeper. Mark Albrighton. Love a bit of Mark Albrighton. Love Mark Albrighton. But it is time for him to go. It's the end of his contract, isn't it? And I think for him, he should go and join a Championship club. maybe somebody like West Brom again, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United do well there. You know, there's plenty of teams Mark Brighton would do great at. So let us know your views and your comments on some of those in there. Curtis says, Cody and Cannon might be critical for us next season. Yes, maybe. Is Cody part of that three at the back or not? Is he good enough to cope at the Premier League in a Enzo type thing? Richard saying, I bet you could. Richard, I think you're talking about, could I score a goal in 5.5 games for Leicester City? I'm sure I probably could. But I tell you what, Richard, there probably is. If we went round Leicestershire, around the senior leagues and some of the better young lads, the under 18s, I genuinely think if we had a little Star is Born challenge and found a couple of strikers and gave them 5 games for Leicester City in a row, they would score. And Daka didn't. I'm not a Daka beater, but I just don't rate him. And I've said it for ages. Curtis says keeping Jamie Vardy all day, every day in there. Super sub Vards for one more season, says Jonathan. And Jonathan, I think, is right there. I think Jamie Vardy for 20, 30 minutes is the way to play him next year. I can't see that Jamie Vardy in a Premier League side, if we want to stay up, is your starting striker anymore. John Towers, good evening, John, says keep him, but has to be lower. And I would agree with you on that. Can't afford to let Vardy go, says Terry. Keep Vardy, great leader on the pitch, off it as well, and his goals will be crucial. Will we ever know? We know what happened towards the end of the season. We lost away at Millwall, we lost away at Plymouth. Felt like the wheels were well and truly coming off there. I don't think it's a rumour because it's been confirmed that Jamie Vardy called a players' meeting, gathered them all together, and I would say galvanised us into the final, 3 wins that took us over the line. Jamie Vardy, he did do that for us. Patrick says, strange Vardy went to Italy and not with the rest of the team. I hadn't heard that, to be fair, Patrick. So tell us more about that if I've missed that. John says Cody has to feature more next season. But if he's that good, if he's a Premier League defender, why wasn't he featuring in the Championship, John? That's what I don't quite understand. Chris says keep Vardy one more season and bring the youth through, which is good in there. Nick says, don't think we can sign players to develop this season. There is too much of a risk. We need tried and tested to add to the experience that will upstand in the Premier League. Well, Nick, I don't think we've got money to be buying players like Cannon and not playing them and just thinking, oh, they'll be good in a couple of years. We've got financial problems and we're going to have to juggle it. There's lots of talk that we're going to have to sell Dewsbury Hall just before June the 30th, just to try and balance out this season's books. It could happen. That's the way football is going a bit. Locks says, I'd jump on and join you, but too late now. Keep Vardy for one more season if the finances were right. Locks, you're always welcome. Feel free to jump on anytime. Richie says, rumours about Tammy Abraham. Listen, Tammy Abraham, listen, I think it'd be good, Richie. I'd be up for that. Would you want that? Let me know in there. Does Vardy want to stay? I think he does, Rob. But again, how much money does he want paying to make him stay there? Yes, Imran, hope you're well. Feeling great for the last 2 weeks. Now feeling nervous. Imran, no. Enjoy, bask in the glory of not being in the playoffs. Enjoy watching the playoffs this Wednesday and Thursday. Enjoy watching the playoff final. And then I don't think we can sign anybody at the moment, Imran. I just hope to goodness. I hope, and it is a hope, I hope that somebody at Leicester City is busy sorting out who we should keep. I guess, listen, that's something we could put in the chat. Out of the players who are out of contract, so Ndidi, Pratt, Vardy, Nacho, Vestergaard, I think I've missed a couple there. Out of the players out of contract, who do you think we should be sorting out now and getting them ready to sign? Who would that be? Put in the comments below who you think should be signing. For me, it's got to be Vardy. And then Diddy. That's the two probably for me out of them all. Yeah, I think that's it. And I guess Vestergaard, if you can get him cheap, but 10 games in and the Premier League strikers have turned Vardy, I'll be first one here saying I told you he's not good enough. So I always love to be proven wrong. But I just think I've seen enough of Vestergaard in the Premier League And at times in the Championship, I don't think he was like all that either, to be fair. Vardy was in Monaco with the rest of the team, but then left early and went on holiday with his family. I think fair enough. They're allowed a holiday, aren't they? Soren, yes, Alves and Braybook in there. I think. Listen, Alves has been rumoured for a couple of years to be good, hasn't he? And there's obviously McAteer and Marcel. We've got young players there. You only need one or two of them to be in there and get through. John says Tammy Abrahams will want lots of money. Daka linked with Arsenal, got to be a joke. Dean, I didn't even bother sharing it, mate. I did not even bother sharing it because I thought it can't be right. Fatwa was a mandatory signing, Chris. Yes, I agree with you on that. Imran is answering who he would keep. Vardy and Didi for sure. I'm with you on Imran. That I agree. Let Vestergaard and Nacho go. Vestergaard, Imran, he has played well this season. If he wanted to stay and if the money was right, he does fit Enzo's style. And maybe that would work better in the Premier League. That's what we don't know, is it? Chris is about the first person to blame Rudkin tonight. Chris, come on. We all know what the problem is. Answers in the comments what the problem is at Leicester City. It's still there, the same problem. Come on, let's see who puts name in first. The name I'm thinking of. I'm going to give it to you. Who do we always blame for everything? I'm not talking about David Pleat anymore. I'm talking about the newer villain from the past 5 or 6 years. Tony says Vestergaard and Faze will get murdered in the Premier League. Tony, that's what we saw last year, wasn't it? Is that Vestergaard isn't quick enough for this Premier League, and well, Faze is a bit temperamental, and I'm to be convinced whether he's good enough. In Curtis says we're blaming Reedy. Yeah, I do blame Reedy for a lot of things, but I was actually thinking of Andy Medhurst. Claude Puel. It's always Claude Puel's fault. Please, it's going to be Claude Puel's fault in 10 years' time, isn't it? In there. Gav says, back to VAR then. Have I missed that? No. To be fair, none of us missed it, did we? There was about twice in the season where I think genuinely you went, they have missed that, and VAR would have got that. But even then, even when you knew VAR would have switched it around, even when it was for us, I was stood there going, I'd rather it be the wrong decision against us and not a penalty, but no VAR. No fan at a ground, I think. Have you ever heard, really, anybody you know down the pub or outside the ground going, is anybody looking forward to having VAR back? If you're watching this, do you want VAR back? Because there'll be some people who'll be like, yes, because it gets things more right than wrong. I just think, no, I'm with you on that. Scott has got a good point. No set piece specialist is the problem. But me being able to speak is the problem, Scott. Scott, again, I think that's a great topic for a show, either later this week or next week. What has gone on with the set pieces at Leicester City? Again, I come from this sort of era, and even the 90s era, the Whch, the Elliots. We used to be great at set pieces. And you're going to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 corners a game. You're going to get a couple of free kicks in there. And it really, really, last season felt like poor from set pieces, as did the year before. We did hire in some American set piece coach. What happened to him? Is he gone? We were poor. How many times last year did you watch a corner and go, you won't even beat the first man? In it comes. He didn't beat the first man. I must have said most corners to the people I sit with. Just let me know if that's what you've said. Richard says, I hate VAR. Craig says, I hate VAR. Maybe we should add VAR into next week's which teams do you fancy in there? Patrick says, Walker's Crisps, new sponsors next season is the rumour. I would like that. Have we got... yeah, look. Look. That looks beautiful. That's what it's all about, isn't it, Patrick? You, me. We know that's what shirts should look like. I've got a couple. These are slightly different. Just so happens, a bit of Fox Leisure, a bit of Walker's Crisps on the back. You may or may not like. Look, a bit of Savage on the back. That's what you want. That's what that O'Hare would do for us. Stick him in the middle of the park. You get a bit of Robbie Savage. And he is a legend. Anyway, we diverge. Listen, we've got to give away those tickets. So, Patrick, everybody watching, I'm going to put the quiz question, and don't forget, this is in there so that there's tickets left to buy, and I'm going to give 2 away literally now. If you do not win and you want to go and buy some tickets, Matt's given us a link, so do click on that link. I've just put it in there. But the question is, what is, if I can remember it right, Michael Smith, who's the guy with the big beard on the left-hand side there, the one who looks like he's yawning or waiting to, I don't know, pop something in there, maybe a pint, maybe a kebab, whatever he wants. Michael Smith, what's his nickname? I know the answer. So I've got it here. Matt has WhatsApp me because I didn't know the answer. So what I'm going to do is give you literally a minute to put in the answers there. Michael Smith, darts player, what's his nickname? Locks is trying to click in. Locks, we've finished the show, mate. You're so late. You're so late. Next week. So put in there. The tickets are for this Friday, so you've got to be able to get to the Morningside Arena. Get yourselves down there in about 30 seconds. When you've had a go, I'm going to scroll back through all the comments. You've got one last 30 seconds to have a go. Don't forget this week, Locks is on, I think, Thursday at 6:30 with his Fox's Focus. Lots of things to talk about, as ever. Then we've got Jamie from the Fox's Arms on Sunday at 9:30. I'm back here next Monday. Next Monday, we're going to do what Richie Collins suggested earlier. Which football team do you hate the most and why? That'll be the thread. But we'll obviously be talking about Leicester City's signings next week or new shirts. Nobody has had a grumble about the plastic cards tonight. Maybe none of you care. Maybe you've all just took it on the chin. I had a little grumble earlier, but that's how it goes. Right, I am going to scroll through completely at random. Somebody who has guessed the right name in there. So I am literally not looking. I am just scrolling, and I'm going to pick a name out there. I'm going to literally pick Nick Ball. There you go, Nick. I'll put your comment up. Nick Ball, you, sir, have won 2 darts to the Morningside Arena, which is now called the Mattioli Woods Arena. It's Leicester Arena. It's down near Belgrave Gate area. 2 tickets this Friday, Nick. Okay. What I'm going to get you to do, Nick, is ping me a direct message or send me a email at contact@leicesterfantv.com. There you go. And don't forget as well, we've got a £50 gift voucher to give away still. Not live in tonight's show, but that's thanks to the guys at Distillers Direct. We've got £50 for everybody to win. So if you do want to go and win that, click on the link again. I'm about to pop into the chat, and you can win that anytime. That's coming up very, very soon. We're going to be drawing that, but you've got the chance to win 50 quid to buy a shirt, whatever you want. And there's a bottle of Bandero, and that's all thanks to the guys at Distillers Direct. There's a 10% discount code there as well to go and spend on distillersdirect.com. And I've just put the link in for that. So that's live on leicesterfantv.com, the website. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Well done to Nick Ball for winning. And, of course, thanks for all your views, all your comments. We can keep enjoying the playoffs because we're not in them. We're not in them, and it's nice to do it. John Tower says, I'll get my list of teams ready for next week then. You can. Which teams do you hate the most and why? I'm particularly looking forward to some random ones in there, but well done again to Nick Ball, who's won those tickets. And here's the most embarrassing video that me and Reedy ever made, which helps promote that competition. I just can't watch it.
Reedy, it's competition time. We've teamed up with the guys at distillersdirect.com and we've got some fantastic prizes for you to win. Reedy, what have we got?
You've got this to win.
Wow, that, £50 to spend at the club shop, and what else?
And that.
A bottle of that? Well, you can get that thanks to the guys at distillersdirect.com. Reedy, what would you spend 50 quid down at the club shop on?
Well, maybe one of these shirts.
One of these? Okay, Reedy. Now we've changed, that shows you can buy a retro shirt, you can buy this year's shirt, they're on special offer I think, or you can even save it and buy next year's shirt, or something like this from the Art of Football. Whatever it is you want to spend 50 quid down at the club shop, thanks to the guys at distillersdirect.com. Now you enter on the website, so click on the link and answer the simple question, and the simple question is, what player's name is on the back of this shirt? Me and Reedy can see it. I'll tell you what, probably give you a clue. Greatest of all time? Who would that be? Here you go. Enter now, and thanks again to Distillers Direct. Don't forget, use the promo code and save 10% off. That promo code, Reedy.
Yes, that one right there.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.